Most men think women are easy to read when it comes to attraction. That if she likes you, she'll just smile, flirt, and make it obvious. The reality, many women are experts at hiding their feelings, and not because they don't want you, Tano, but because showing an open look can make them feel vulnerable, judged, or even rejected. That's what we're into today. The subtle, sometimes frustrating, but always revealing signature woman likes you, Andis, trying not to show it. If you can learn to spot these seasons, you'll understand her better than understand Shersfeth. Women are a masters of indirect communication. They might avoid telling you directly how they feel, but their body language, their tone, and even their accidental favors can give them away. The problem is most guys miss these clues completely. They either didn't notice them at all or they misinterpret them as disinterest. That show opportunities get lost. Now, this is where it gets a little controversial. Women often want you to notice even when they are pretending they don't think about that for a second. They're just being friendly, but the little things they do tell Anno Thirstery. And if you can't read between the lines, you'll never know the truth. In this video, I'm going to break down the exact signs that show she's interested, even if she's putting on her best poker face. You'll learn the decade way she looks at you, how she speaks to you, the way she acts around you, and small details that scream attraction with her ever saying a word. By fiend, you'll never second guesses yourself again. You'll be able to spot genuine Terra 7 when she's trying her hardest to hide it. And that's a skill that changes everything. So let's get into it. She avoids you but can't stop looking. Gone. She avoids you but can't stop looking. This is one of the most confusing and doiling misunderstood signs. Woman likes you but is trying to hide. To most men, it feels contradictory. If she likes me, why would she avoid me? The truth is, attraction doesn't always show up as bold, fearless interaction. Sometimes, hides behind hesitation, distance, and stolen glances. When a woman is drawn to you, but doesn't want you or anyone else to notice, she often creates space between you. She might step away when you enter the room, pretend to be by-side when you approach, or keep her body turned slightly away in conversation. At first glance, you think she's not interested at all. But here's where Athriel's giveaway comes in. Even while she's avoiding you, she can't help but look. You'll notice her eyes finding you from across the room. Maybe it's quick, just a fraction of a second before she looks away. Maybe it's a little longer, as if she's got in the act and sudden remember she's supposed to be hiding something. Women know the eyes can reveal too much. Though when they're trying to mask attraction, they'll break eye contact quickly. Look down or focus on something else. But it's already too late. You've caught that spark. Why does she do this? It's usually a mix of self-protection and uncertainty. Maybe she's shy. Maybe she doesn't know if you'll like her back. Maybe she has reputation. Protect. Or she's in a situation where showing interest feels risky. Whatever the reason, the safest way for her to deal with the pull she feels is to act like she's not interested while secretly feeding her curiosity. Why? By watching you from a distance. Pay attention to the timing of these glances. If you notice her eyes flick toward you more than once in a short span of time, it's not random. If she's always aware of where you are in a room, even if she's pretending not to notice, it's not coincidence. And if she suddenly shifts your attention away the moment, you look back. That's often a dead give or she's shitting her real feelings. Here's sake, don't mistake your avoidance for rejection. Most guys see a woman creating distance and immediately back off for good. But when that's paired with repeated, almost involuntary glances, it's usually a signal of concealed attraction. She wants to look. She wants to know what you're doing. She just don't want you to know no. She wants it. When you learn to read this subtleness of avoidance and curiosity, you start to see what's really happening. Then, at the surface, she's not pushing you away because she's soon interested. She's holding back because FA's feelings are stronger than she wants to admit. Playful insults that feel like flirting, too. Playful insults that feel like flirting. In everyday life, most ofus have experienced a strange moment where Simeon teases us in a way that feels lighthearted but also strange personal. With women, this can be a subtle, powerful way of showing interest while keeping her true feelings under wraps. It's a form of attraction rap and doomer, and it plays out more often than you think. Imagine this. You're at work and you've just told a joke during a team meeting. Later, when you're passing by her desk, she smirks and says, "Whoa, you think you're a comedian now?" On the surface, it's age up, but the smile, the tone, and the shoe lingers just long enough to see your reaction. Tell, yeah, there's more going on. Or maybe you're at the gym struggling with your last set. She walks by saying, "Careful, don't hurt yourself, tough guy." She could have just kept walking without saying a word. But instead, she makes a playful comment that puts you on her road, puts her on yours. The beauty of playful insults is that they give her a safe space. She can engage with you, test your sense of humor, create a little spark without a pen admitting attraction. If you respond well with confidence and a quick wit, she gets a read on how comfortable you are with playful tension. If you take it too seriously or dite defensive, she knows you might no ready for that kind of back and forth. These moments often happen in shared spaces. In the office, when she jokes about your coffee addiction. In class, when she teases you about always serving right before the bell in your friend group. When she pokes fun at the way you dance, even though she keeps looking A2 while you're doing it. What's really happening here? Emotional ping pong. She sends out ADAcing comment and she's watching closely to see if you'll send something back. This is her way of creating a playful bond, but doesn't feel too vulnerable. It's attraction, Kim Muajas banter. Now, here's the important part. You have to read the difference when Muan-spirited teasing and flirty teasing. Flirty teasing is a company warmth, smiling eyes, a relaxed posture, a tone that invites you to play along. Mean-spirited teasing feels cold, sharp, and dismissive. She's smiling, holding eye contact, and staying close enough to hear juke back. She's not pushing you away. It's drawing you in. When you catch this dynamic, lean into it much here energy. Tease her back in a light way and keep the in conversationally. This turns the moment into a shared inside joke, and that's where attraction starts to deepen. So, next time a woman throws a playful insult your way, don't overthink it. Chances are, she's not just trying to be funny. She's letting you in on the fact that she's noticed you and she wants you to notice her. Sudden coldness are warm moments. 3. Sudden coldness are warm moments. Few things throw men off more than a woman who's warm and friendly. One then distant and cold the next. One moment is laughing at your jokes. Lean in. When you talk, maybe a vanishing your arm, and the very next time you see her, she's acting like you're just another face in the crowd. This emotional whiplash can be frustrating, but here is the truth. In many cases, this isn't a sign she's lost interest. It's a sign she's trying harder to hide it. Let's put it into real-life situation. You're at a part, spend half an hour talking to her, smiling, giving you her full attention, and the vibe feels great. Maybe your friends even notice that chemistry. But next day you bump into her at a coffee shop and she barely acknowledges you. It's not because it's because she remembers too well. Here's why this happens. When a woman lets her guard down and shows genuine warmth, she sometimes regrets it afterward, especially if she's been trained to keep her feelings a secret. She replies themament in her head, worries that Shaw made her interest obvious, and decides to correct it by gritting distance. Then next time she sees you, it's a way off her gaining control over the situation. This pattern also shows up in every day Places at work, where she's chatty with you in the break room one day, but then next day, Shaw keeps conversation. And short, at the gym where she once smiled and asked about your workout. But the next time barely makes eye contact among friends. Where? She laughed at your stories all night, but now acts more reserved when others are around. It's important to remember that this back and forth behavior doesn't necessarily mean she's playing games. Often it's internal conflict. She might like you, but feel nervous about what it means. I shows it. She might be unsure about your feelings toward her, or she might be protecting her image in front of certain people. The key for you is not to overreact to the cold moments. If you treat her sudden distance as rejection, you'll close the door before she even decides whether to open a dot. Instead, stay consistent in your demeanor. If you were confident and warm when she was being friendly, keep that some energy even when she's acting distant. This shows you're stable. No teasily rattle-dunned, not dependent on her mood swings for your confidence. In many cases, her cold moments are just her way off buying time, a reset button so she can decide how much of her interest she's willing to reveal. If you can ride out host moments without pulling away, chasing too hard, you'll often find her warmth comes back. Sometimes even stronger extra attention. Disguised as shelping for extra attention, disguised as shelping. One of the sneakiest ways a woman can show interest while pretending not to be giving you extra attention, but disguising it as buying. Helpful. On the surface, it looks like she's just being nice, but underneath there's usually more going on. Vekalang for most men is knowing when that's a genuine sign of attraction and when it's just ordinary kindness. Hair show. It plays out in real life. You're at work and she just happens to remind you about added line you forgot. She? A first-o proofread. Something for you. Eventhu doesn't do that for anyone else. Ormabe, you're in class and she shares her notes without you even asking. Notes held and offered to the guy sitting right next to her. The key here is select develop. If she's making small efforts to make your life easier, but not going out of her way for everyone else, that's a subtle sign she's paying extra attention to you. This shows up outside off work or school, too. At the gym, she squeezes a better way to do an exerciser struggling with 4. As a scanner app in its life, you're gonna die. Like what, look at this. And we all know I've been exploring. And we all know I've been exploring that path. This shows up outside, off seats. If we show so wide, so, at we show up per out. At we see so quality with concierge collie coots. At we see so recu with, in your friend group, she offers to bring you some ething from the kitchen when she's getting herself a drink. At an event, she tells you about something happening nearby that she thinks you would enjoy. Now, here's where men often get confused. Not every act of kindness means she's into you. Some women are naturally friendly and helpful to everyone. She's just as attentive with. Other guys, you're not special in that way. You have look for patterns. Does she remember small details? L's about your life. Check in you specifically. Or find excuses to help you in ways that keep the interaction going. Another way to tell, look at her body, language, and tone. Hench is helping if she's smiling, making eye contact, and lingering longer than necessary. It's probably more than just polite and spend it. If she's quick, neutral, and moving on without connection, it's likely just friendliness. It's also important not to mistake professional courtesy or basic manners for personal interest in a workplace. Some women may help you because it's part of their job or because they value teamwork. Jumping to conclusions here can lead to awkward misunderstanding. When you spot extra attention disguised as helping, pay attention to consistency and context. Is she creating repeated or personal one-on-one interactions under the excuse of helping you? Is Sherry bearing things you've said before in bringing them up later to assist you? These are usually intentional cycles wrapped in place, NIB. So don't fall for the trap of thinking every nice gesture means attraction. But also don't ignore consistent patterns of self-kiss. The difference between she's just nice and she's interestedly in how often, how personally, and how exclusively she offers. That extra tension. Buddha language that doesn't match her words. 5. Buddy language that doesn't match her words. One of the most telling signature woman likes you but is trying not to show is when her body betrays her words. She might be saying one thing, but her movements, expressions, and posture are telling a different story. And the truth is, no matter how hard someone tries to control what they say, body language often slips through the cracks. Picture this: you're talking to her and she's insisting she's just not that into dating right now. Her words sound certain, but her eyes linger in yours a little too long. Shaw eyelining in slightly. Even though there's plenty of space around her, she's playing with her hair, lightly touching her neck or shifting her weight in a way that faces you directly. That's the silent giveaway. Her body is strunadinto you, even when her words rain toput, up a wool. Sometimes it's as subtly as the way she positions herself. Even in group settings, she might angle her body toward you, subconsciously drawing you into her space. Or maybe she mirrors your gestures without realizing it. You'll cross your arms and a few seconds later, she does the same. You take a sip off here, drink, and she does too. These are unconscious signals of connection and comfort, and they're hard to fake. Another sign is how she reacts. Top proximity. If you step closer while taking, she doesn't back away. In fact, she might lean in slightly. Even if her words remain guarded, she could bottle in you. She's not sure about how Chef feels, yet her body language is showing goodness, curiosity, and interest. Then there's the micro-expression that any flashes of emotion that appear before she has a chance to hide them. Maybe you'll make a joke and she smiles instantly to quickly suppress. I didn't roll her eyes as if it wasn't that funny. That quick burst of Yanu reaction reveals more than the controlled expressions. That follows. Why does Thish pawn? It's because the attraction isn't purely logical. It's instinctive. The conscious mind might decide to hide, but the subconscious doesn't always get memo. Thought this is why paying attention to the mismatch between her words and her body language can reveal more than what she's actually saying. But you have to read the situation in context. Some people are naturally warm, physical, expressive, or simply comfortable with closeness. So you shouldn't assume open gesture is romantic interest. The difference is in consistency and timing. If her body language changes specifically around you, if her tone softens, her movements become more open, and her attention locks in on you, even when her words didn't, you're likely seeing the real story. Learning to spot this disconnect is powerful because it lets you see past the verbal filter. She might be saying, I'm not interested with her mouth, but her body is quietly saying, I'm drawn to you and I can't help it. 6. Jealousy she tries to laugh off. Sometimes the jealousy she tries to laugh off. Clearest sign a woman likes you, but a string not to show. It comes in a moment when she feels her position with you being challenged. She might not openly admit her feelings, but the way she acts when another woman enters the scene can tell you everything. You could be at a casual hangout with friends talking to another woman about something harmless, like travel or music out of the corner of your eye. Yet it is her looking over, not glaring, not sculling, but with that subtle sharpness in her gaze that wasn't there before. Few moments later, Chest rolls over, smelling as if nothing's wrong, and throws a playful comment your way. Maybash teases you about making new friends so quickly or says something like, wow, you work fast. On the surface, it's all in good humor. She's smiling. Her tone is light. And if no one else heard it, they'd think it was just a joke. But you can feel thiege underneath it. The kind of jealousy she never openly admit. It's too risky for her because admitting it would mean revealing she has a personal stake in your attention. Instead, she masks it with humor, sarcasm, or a playful tone. The joke beckons her safe way of checking the temperature. Are y'all going to reassure her with your reaction, or are you going to brush it off? You'll notice this same pattern in other settings. If she sees you chatting with a female coworker a little too comfortably, she might suddenly become your present in that conversation, making subtle remarks that insert herself back into your attention. If you mention Anna Thorwoman's name in conversation, she might make a light comment about how Mac you seem to know about her. Few words addressed in amusement, but these subtext is curiosity and in some cases a touch of territorial instinct. It's important not to mistake it for hostility in most cases. It's not about disliking the other woman. It's about feeling acquio, paying off competition. Shy's trying to manage that feeling without letting you or anyone else see it for what it is. The key for you is to recognize the difference between playful jealousy that's rooted in attraction and mind-spirited behavior. That signals insecurity. If she's laughing, maintaining a light tone, and staying ganged with you rather than shutting down or walking away, she's not trying to push you out. She's trying to pull you back in. When you can spot jealousy wrapped in humor, you'll see just how often a woman's attempts to hide her interests actually reveal it. She might not say, "I like you," but in moments when she fears losing your attention, her actions speak louder than words. Random excuses to be around you. 7. Random excuses to be around you. One of clearest yet most misunderstood. A woman likes you but is trying it to show. It is one. She creates opportunities to be near you, but from them as pure coincidence or necessity. On the surface, it looks harmless. She just happens to show up in the same place at the same time, or find a riassanto, start a conversation that doesn't seem important. But when you pay close attention, these moments often reveal more than she intends. She might walk over to where you are and ask about something unrelated to you personally, like the status of a work project or the name of a song playing in the background. It could be something Shuses Isley could have asked Sumia Niels or Revan looked up herself, but Shusus? Shoo, that choice is the point. The question is just a cover for buying clothes, without openly making it a boo. The controversial part. Many women will insist they don't chase men, but his little coincidences are a subtle form of pursuit. It's not the bold, direct approach men might take. Strategic. She maintains the appearance of buying casual while satisfying the pulse she feels toward you. This way she keeps your pride intact while still feeding your attraction. Sometimes it's not a van about talking. She might appear in spaces she knows you'll be like hanging out near the coffee machine when she notices you've stepped away from your desk or sitting in a spot where you'll pass this by. She might linger a little longer in a conversation with Sumia Niels, just so you'll walk past and see her tune else. It's normal social behavior. To her, it's proximity without confession. It's where many men get confused. They assume that because she's not making overt romantic moves, she's just being friendly or it's coincidence. But attraction often works in the small details. A woman who truly has no interest in you will not consistently go of her way to cross paths. These patterns only become visible if you watch over time. Once or twice can be nothing, but accidental encounters are rarely just-ins. You also have to be aware that not all proximity means attraction. Some people are naturally sociable, or hapento, share your schedule. That's why the context matters. For presence is spared with subtle cues like holding eye, contact a little too long, initiating light conversation, or showing visible interest in what you're doing. Then it's not just about being in some space. It's about finding a safe way to be closer without openly declaring it. Fed Ruth is creating excess to be around. Few is often our way of testing few waters. She wants certain to be close enough to feel the connection, but far enough taught. I've confronted. Once you understand this, you'll realize that some of the randomots in your interactions, Ariani, thing,